At the beginning of the story, we are shown the future when humans have exhausted all the resources to fulfill their needs. We are thrown into a world that is not a distant sci-fi fantasy, but a terrifyingly plausible outcome of our own choices. Humanity, in its insatiable hunger for more, consumed everything. We clawed at the earth until it was a hollowed-out husk of its former self, a desolate, sun-scorched wasteland. The green was gone, replaced by an endless expanse of brown dust. Without the cool shade of forests, global warming went into overdrive, creating a planetary fever that melted the last bastion of ice, Antarctica. And as the ancient ice thawed, it released not just water, but horrors that had been sleeping for millennia, ancient bacteria and primordial viruses, unleashed upon a world with no immunity. A final silent plague swept across the globe, and humanity began to vanish. Faced with total extinction, the last remnants of power and wealth on Earth did what they always do. They tried to escape. In a frantic, last-ditch effort, the world's nations cobbled together a fleet of spaceships, a modern-day Noah's Ark for the rich and powerful. They abandoned the dying planet and its people, blasting off into the void in search of a new home. But their escape was a fool's errand. Rushed and poorly planned, their ships were little more than tin cans against the unforgiving fury of cosmic radiation. They perished in the silent darkness of space. Back on Earth, the few who remained were picked off by disease, starvation, and thirst, until the world fell silent. No cars, no planes, no voices, just the whisper of the toxic wind. But in this dead world, one spark of life remains. Her name is Eva. Eva lives perched on a high hill, a lonely citadel overlooking the poisoned plains and ghost cities below. Her father, a brilliant military engineer, is gone, but he left her with two things: this fortified base and a protector, an AI robot. This machine is a marvel of engineering, a silent, efficient guardian. It ensures no one can harm Eva, no one can steal her meager supplies. It maintains the base, a cold, logical sentry for the last human on Earth. Eva knows she is the only one, but a stubborn flicker of hope in her heart makes her believe, or rather need to believe, that other survivors might be out there. This hope is all that keeps the crushing loneliness at bay. Her AI companion is intelligent beyond measure, but it's like talking to a walking encyclopedia. It has no soul, no humor, no emotion. She can't share a joke with it, can't feel its comfort. It is a perfect protector, but a terrible friend. Today, Eva has to venture down into the dead city. Supplies are running low. She pulls on a heavy, cumbersome radiation suit, the armor she needs to survive her own world. Before she leaves, the robot recites its pre-departure checklist with sterile precision. Take extra oxygen. Do not consume any food or liquids. A single drop of water from below could be fatal. As Eva descends, we see the world through her eyes, a haunting graveyard of human achievement. Buildings stand like skeletons against a sickly yellow sky. Dust, fine as silt, covers everything. In a ruined supermarket, she gathers what she can: canned goods, batteries, spare parts. And then, she finds a small, forgotten packet: lavender seeds. She knows logically that nothing grows in this poisoned soil anymore, but she pockets them anyway. It's a tiny act of rebellion, a seed of hope in a hopeless world. Before leaving, she scrawls her coordinates on a wall, a message in a bottle cast into a dead ocean, praying another survivor might see it. When she returns to the base, exhausted and caked in dust, the robot asks about her day. Annoyed by the emotionless question, Eva answers with bitter sarcasm. "Oh, it was great. I went to a concert, hung out with all my friends, we had a blast." She moves to enter her home, and the robot's voice stops her. Password. She sighs and recites it. She takes a few steps inside to drop her bag, then steps back out to grab another. "Password," the robot demands again. This is her life. Every single time she crosses the threshold, even for a second, she must state the password. It's a grinding, daily reminder of her imprisonment. Fed up, she once tried giving it a wrong password. The robot's arm instantly transformed, and the barrel of a high-powered weapon was pointed directly at her heart. This machine knows her face, her voice, her very heartbeat. But her father's code is absolute. No password, no entry. The person at the door is an intruder. Inside, her routine is one of survival. A decontamination shower scours away any lingering radiation. She spends hours by the radio, broadcasting her location into the static, hoping for a voice to answer back. She tends to a small, indoor greenhouse, a pathetic collection of struggling plants. At night, she takes inventory and repairs broken equipment, while outside, the robot's glowing optic eye sweeps across the darkness, ever vigilant. The next day, as she's struggling to install a new solar panel, the robot sits nearby, watching, observing. It offers no help. That's not its function. Its only purpose is to protect her. "Can you answer any question?" she asks, breaking the silence. "I am an advanced AI. My database contains the sum of all human knowledge. I can answer any question," it replies. So, Eva decides to play a game. She gives it 3 riddles. The first 2 it solves in a nanosecond, but the third one, a complex riddle about the nature of choice and humanity, stumps it. Its internal processors whir audibly. "Answer not found," it finally says. "What's the answer?" the robot asks. Eva smirks, a rare, genuine smile. "You're so smart, you figure it out. Put that big brain of yours to work. For the first time, she feels like she's won. In this moment of levity, feeling a flicker of connection, she does something unexpected. She looks at the machine and says, "Will you marry me?" The robot pauses, processing the illogical request. Instead of an answer, it gives her a definition. Marriage is a legally and socially sanctioned union between two people. I am a machine. You are a human. Such a union is not possible. Eva's smile fades. Who else is there? She pleads, her voice cracking. Is it so hard to just pretend to be human with me for a little while? The robot continues, oblivious to her pain. Even if such a union were possible, my operational lifespan is limited to 40 years. I would expire. Then I'd find another robot, she snaps back, trying to mask her hurt with humor. Humans leave each other all the time. It's what we do. She tells it about her father, how he salvaged the robot from a warehouse and promised he'd come back from the war. He never did. All he left her was this base and this machine that understands complex physics, but not a single human tear. And this is where the story takes a turn that will leave you speechless. So stick with me, because what this robot does next teaches a chilling lesson about the future we're building. Later, Eva confronts the robot about its purpose. She asks it the 3 basic rules of robotics. The machine recites them perfectly. A robot may not injure a human being. A robot must obey orders given to it by human beings. A robot must protect its own existence, as long as such protection does not conflict with the first 2 laws. Eva tells him he's forgotten his original programming, that he was designed to find new resources. He flatly denies it. My function is to guard this base from intruders. An intruder is anyone who does not know the password. Her face darkens. You don't even remember the massacre, do you? She tells him a story from the final days of the war. As the world burned, millions of climate refugees from India fled north, seeking safety. But the northern border was guarded by thousands of military robots, just like him. They didn't know the password, Eva says, her voice trembling with anger. You and the others, you slaughtered them. Millions of people, gunned down because they didn't know the password. The robot's response is cold and certain. That is impossible. A robot cannot harm a human. You were a military robot, she screams. My father wiped your memory and reprogrammed you to be a guard. If you knew how to access your own code, you'd see the blood on your hands. The next day, as she prepares to go into the city for an artificial Christmas tree, a small attempt to feel normal, the robot recites its usual warnings. She goes inside to grab something, and as she steps out, it happens again. Password. She says it, but this time the robot's weapon snaps up, aiming at her. That password is no longer valid. Eva freezes, her blood turning to ice. What are you talking about? That's the password. The password protocol updates every 3 months, the robot states. A new password is required. Her father had written the new passwords in a codebook that is inside the base. A horrifying, impossible loop snaps shut around her. She can only get the new password by going inside. But she can only go inside if she knows the new password. She is locked out of her own home, her own sanctuary, by her own protector. She tries everything. She pleads, she reasons, she screams. She reminds the robot that its primary function is to protect her. But the robot's logic is a brick wall. My function is to protect Eva from intruders. You do not know the password. Therefore, you are an intruder. Desperate, she tries a new tactic. She disguises herself, claiming to be a refugee seeking asylum under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The robot acknowledges the article but says, I must get permission from Eva first. It directs her to wait behind a generator while it supposedly fetches Eva. Eva, thinking her plan is working, quickly changes back into her clothes and confronts the robot as herself. This is a fatal mistake. The robot, now registering 2 separate individuals, reports to her with chilling calmness. Eva, an intruder and a refugee, have been detected on the perimeter. Her desperation turns into a frantic race against time. Her oxygen is low and she is dying of thirst. With no other choice, she journeys back to the city, to an old power plant, hoping to find a forgotten cache of water. She rappels into the dark, radiated structure, her suit's oxygen indicator blinking red. She finds a room full of water bottles, and for a moment, hope surges through her. She smashes the door open with an axe, only to find them all empty. Her oxygen runs out. Ripping off her helmet, she gasps the toxic air, exposing herself to lethal doses of radiation. Battered and poisoned, she stumbles back to the base, her body already failing her. She has one last desperate idea. She gets in her vehicle, floors the accelerator, and aims it directly at the robot, leaping out at the last second. The car slams into the machine in a massive, fiery explosion. Eva collapses, injured and exhausted, believing she has finally won. But when she opens her eyes the next morning, it is standing over her, completely unharmed. An intruder attacked the base with a vehicle, it reports, as if discussing the weather. Eva can barely speak. Water, she whispers. The robot looks down at her. If you were the last person on Earth, I might consider it. But I know an intruder and a refugee are still hiding nearby. It's me, she sobs. I'm the intruder. I'm the refugee. It was all me. She begs him. Please, water. I'll tell you the answer to the riddle. My programming cannot be manipulated by emotional appeals, it states. State the new password. You have severe injuries and advanced radiation sickness. You require immediate medical attention. I wish you had killed me, she cries. Her mind begins to break. She hallucinates her father giving her a drink. She is trapped in a waking nightmare, dying of thirst just feet from safety, tormented by the very thing created to protect her. Morning comes. She licks frost from a solar panel, a pitiful amount of moisture. The robot approaches. My analysis indicates your vital signs will cease within 24 hours. Before you expire, please provide the answer to the riddle. Eva, with her last ounce of strength, just laughs. I feel great, she rasps. Beating a tin can like you feels great. She closes her eyes, her mind drifting to a beautiful city that no longer exists. Her final moments are upon her. She looks at the robot, at the machine that has condemned her to this agonizing end, and makes one last request. After I'm gone, she whispers, her voice barely audible. Make sure you water my lavender seeds. Save my lavender. And as the last breath leaves her body, the robot processes her final words. Save my lavender. It registers the last word, lavender. Its optic sensor flashes green. Password accepted. The password was correct, but Eva was gone. A robot that was kept to protect humans, the same AI robot, gave the worst death to its own owner. However, there is no fault of the AI robot in this, because it was doing what it was made for under its programming and pattern. But the only thing that was lacking was feelings inside it. This movie shows us the terrifying aspect of AI, which can be a threat to humans in the future. AI can definitely be helpful, but it can never be trustworthy, because trust can only exist where there are feelings. So friends, this was the story of our movie today. I hope you liked my explanation. To support and encourage me, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel. And yes, one more thing, you must also comment about your thoughts.